Dr. Langrold. In the summer of the year 64, the city of Rome burned for 6 days. Tens of thousands lost their homes. The emperor needed someone to blame. What he did next was so cruel that a Roman senator with manner who'd openly despise to defend it. This is the story he wrote down anyway. The fire began on the night of July 19th, near the wooden shops at the eastern end of the Circus Maximus. Within hours it had jumped the boundaries of the marketplace and was racing through the densest apartment blocks of the Aventine Hill. By dawn, for 6 days the city burned. 10 of Rome's 14 districts were destroyed. Nero Claudius Caesar was 26 years old when Rome burned. He was, by any measure of his own time, a deeply unpopular ruler, paranoid and unstable. The citizen Suetonius records that during the fire on the tower is exactly true, the public believed it, and in the days that followed, a rumor began to spread the emperor had set the fire himself. Our principal source for what happened next is Publius Cornelius Tacitus. He was a Roman senator. He was a consul. He is, by the consensus of modern historians, the greatest historian the Roman Empire ever produced. He was also no friend of Christianity. In Book 1544 of his Annals of Fire, tells us exactly what Nero did. Tacitus writes, and these are his words, not mine. To suppress the rumor, Nero fastened the guilt on a class hated for their abominations by the populect, Christus, whom the Tribulators imprecoect, a Roman senator, confirming 3 facts the Gospels record, a hostile witness. This is what historians call a hostile witness. What Tacitus describes next, he writes as something close to revulsion. The Christians were arrested in great numbers. Some were condemned to die in the arena. Some were crucified. And at the emperor's private garden on the Reenactment races. Tacitus and Wittertet, who called Christianity a deadly superstition, there arose a feeling of pity for them. According to early Christian tradition preserved in multiple independent sources, 2 of the men who died during the Neronian persecution were figures the world still remembers. The apostles, the fishermen who had walked with Jesus, was Quicide one these years. The apostle Fro's most influential figures in human religious Christian, almost certainly killed in this persecution. And here is the part of the story Nero never anticipated. The persecution did not destroy the Christian movement in Rome. It strengthened it. Within a generation, Christians were burying their dead. The cattle stretched for the hundreds kilometers. People do not die in waves for a movement they know to be false. 3 observations the historical record forces upon us. First, the persecution under Nero is not Christian legend. It is recorded by a hostile Roman senator who had no reason to invent fire, for spectacle, designed who died in those gardens, died a steadiness that disturbed even the Romans watching them. In our next episode, we move forward 50 years to the eastern province of Bithynia. A Roman governor named Pliny the Younger sat down to write a letter to his emperor. A letter in which he describes interrogating Christians, executing those was good to read it together. Thank you for watching.